Okay, hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime. So in the last episode, we got the plasma beam, and we also got the spider ball, as I'll show off here in a second, hopefully. And as you can probably guess, my voice is actually out of sync with the footage you're seeing right now. That's because I was a dumbass, and when I recorded this video in the first place, I forgot to select my microphone, like the one I have, so it like defaulted to the like webcam microphone, so the audio quality was just like unbearably shitty. Like I'll play a clip right now. It was fucking awful. But anyway, so we're actually gonna come over here, and if you're gonna want to get the power bomb if you're going this direction. You aren't required to go this direction, but this is a sequence break that I'm doing. But in this episode, we're actually going to be doing a lot of stuff, none of which we're actually supposed to do at this point in time, but we're gonna do it anyway. Why am I sitting here? There we go. You gonna move? Are you gonna move? Are you just gonna look around? You gonna walk? There you go. There you go. You can walk. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Anyways, you're gonna want to get the power bomb for this. Ideally, you're going to want to have two power bombs for this. You don't have to have them, but it does make it easier because, as you can see, we obviously have two. If you don't have two, then you only have one, and you'll run out very quickly. And as a result, you will have to go back and farm for another one, and just slows everything down. We're actually going to be heading into a new area in this episode, Phazon Mines, which is easily the hardest area in the game, except maybe the final area. I don't know, but it is a very difficult area, especially considering the fact we're on hard mode. So if you're sequence breaking your way into here, you are going to want to be decently equipped. Like with energy tanks and stuff, because you are going to take a lot of damage. And if you'll notice, I keep going to the thermal visor in this episode. That's because for some reason my D-pad was being a dick, and every time I tried to use the scan visor, it would go to the thermal visor, and it was just not good. Anyway, that is Phazon. We saw it a few episodes. I cannot speak today. What the fuck? We saw it a few episodes ago, but we didn't get a very good view of it. But now we did, so that's cool. And it looks like that. It's like some radioactive blue shit that tries to kill you. But we're going to get introduced to a new enemy here. Actually, a few new enemies. This is a... Well, I'm trying to scan it here. You're gonna scan it. There you go. This is a power trooper. So if you remember a few episodes ago, I talked about how the space pirates were like trying to copy Samus and her moves and technology and stuff like that. Well, one of the results of that were power troopers, in addition to a few other things. Also, this is a mega turret. It's just a turret, but strong, and they only appear in this area, so that's cool. But one of the results of that was the power trooper, in addition to other enemies we'll be seeing here shortly. Yeah, like when I was... fuck, I lost my train of thought. So when I was talking earlier, a few episodes ago, about how they tried to copy the morph ball, and then they broke their spines and died. Well, they did succeed at some stuff, and that's copying Samus's beams. So the way that these enemies work is this is a power trooper, and he's going to shoot, like, he has a power beam, basically, not exactly a power beam, but something very similar to it, and he's going to be weak to the power beam, and by weak, I mean that's the only thing that actually does damage to him, so you're going to do that, and that down there, that purple thing, as you might imagine, is an ice pirate, except not really, that's just a shitty joke I wanted to make. This is actually a wave trooper, as you'll see right about now. Shockingly enough, you use the wave beam on him. So it's pretty simple, just color code. And that there, as you can see, is a plasma trooper. It's a bit weird because, like, it's weird to me because they all shoot the same thing now that I think about it. But they all have different, like, elemental affinities, and it doesn't make that much sense. Like, if you'd expect the wave trooper to shoot like a wave beam type thing, but whatever. I don't mind as long as it's easier or something. I don't know. It makes life easier, so it's kind of nice. But we're gonna go through. We're gonna want to go through that door if you know me in the past wants to do that at some point. Maybe. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? Oh my God, you're gonna do it, aren't you? I'm so proud of you. Anyway, fuck that. So the power trooper is actually, interestingly enough, probably the hardest trooper of all of them, because with the wave beam, if you remember way long ago, but not that long ago actually, like you can get enemies in like a infinite loop of being stunned, and that applies to wave pirates too. And if you notice, there's actually music playing right now. And if you played this before, you'll know that we are not supposed to have come here from this angle, and if you haven't played it before, then you know now. But as a result of us coming from this angle, we've glitched the fuck out of the game, and it's playing this track before it's supposed to. But whenever I decide to walk and look into that pod, there's actually a guy in there, and I don't know why, but scanning him from this angle is a little bit weird and glitchy. But we're gonna scan him in a second, and you'll find after the plasma artillery cannon, you're gonna find that this is an elite pirate, and it's a space pirate that is infused with Phazon and made stronger. It's basically a space pirate on steroids. They kind of look like the Hulk, to be honest, like a Black Hulk, Black and Blue Hulk. I wonder if there's a Black Hulk. There's probably a Hulk in the comics, like a Black Hulk in the Hulk comics. I wouldn't know for certain because I'm not very. I can't say I'm well versed in Hulk comics. But this guy, he's kind of strong. He's like a mini boss, I guess, is the best way to describe him, but not really. He's just a very strong enemy. He's not too bad though. Honestly, the worst part about him is if you look at his hand, it'll glow yellow, and that you can't attack him while he's doing that. And that's honestly the worst thing about him. Like, that thingy, if you remember the Sheegoth, when it absorbed our shots, it's very similar to that. And that's honestly the worst part about these enemies, is that makes them. It makes it take longer to kill them, and it's just a bit of a pain, but it's not too bad. I like to use the plasma beam on them, but you aren't actually supposed to have the plasma beam at this point. Why do I keep saying what the fuck? So if you don't have the plasma beam, what I like to do when I come through here is I like to use the super missile with the power beam, and I don't know why I used the regular missile there. That was pretty stupid. But he's dead now, so yeah, as you can see, they're not too bad. But anyways, as I was saying before he showed up and ruined everything, the elemental pirates, or I don't know what to call them honestly, but the wave pirate and the power pirate and the ice trooper, those guys. The hardest, as I was saying, was the power one. And then right about now, my TV's lighting got weird, so I just kind of sat around trying to fix it, and this was pretty stupid. But the wave pirates are also wave troopers are also. Okay, I cannot speak today. What the fuck? Okay. Power troopers are the hardest because there's no like easy way to just wreck the fuck out of them. But the wave troopers, there's this thing you can do with the charge shot that will get enemies in like an infinite loop of being stunned, and so that makes the wave pirates like not very hard at all. It makes things like a lot easier on you, so that's pretty cool. The ice troopers, as we will see here momentarily, I think, since you use the ice beam on them, if you charge the ice beam, it will actually freeze them. I don't know why I went through that door. That's where I came from. Oh, speak of the devil, there's one up there. But anyway, if you charge the ice beam, when I saw it the first time, I thought that was a power trooper. But anyway, when you charge it, that will freeze it. And then when you freeze enemies, as we've seen before, a missile will just kill them. So you can just do this, and they're just dead instantly. They're the easiest of the bunch, I think. And then the plasma troopers, as you might imagine, are also very easy because the plasma beam is like the strongest thing ever. So yeah. Yeah, so the power trooper is the hardest of the bunch, which is a bit funny to me, because the power beam, like for us, it's the weakest of the beams. I don't know, it's just a bit funny. Here we have a lot of pirate data. There's actually, to my knowledge, there's only 2 locations in the game you can get pirate data at. With the actually no, there's 3. I lied, but with regardless, there's not very many places you can get it. So as you might imagine, like the areas that do have it are like full to the brim of pirate data. It's just all over the place. So literally whenever you see computers, be sure to scan the red stuff, or at least check it with the scan visor and scan the red things, because there's going to be pirate data there. Unless you don't care about the logbook at all, in which case you don't need to do that. I actually normally just skip it anyway. or at least I haven't done it in a while, because usually when I play this game lately, I do it sort of like speed runny, but not really. I just try to do things quickly. But I don't know, I wanted to do the logbook for this, even though it has no real reward. It's just, I don't know, I want to do everything. I got really confused here, but one thing I didn't mention is that there's puffers, and they came in through the ceiling, and they're trying to kill us now, and this area is just full of poison, noxious gas. So we're actually going to come over here, and if you see that thing on the ground, we're going to want to power bomb it. You're not actually supposed to have the power bomb at this point. You're supposed to actually get it very soon, like very soon. But since you aren't supposed to have it, this room is a bit of a threat. But you're going to want to scan this, and then that's going to turn the fan on, make things a lot easier, get rid of the gas, and then also kill the puffers by blowing them into the wall. I guess the puffers are like really sensitive, because if they just die from tapping the wall, then that's weird. I think the idea is that they're really okay. For some reason my laptop, or wait, hang on. Okay, for some reason my microphone decided to unplug itself, so that wasn't cool, but I'm back now. But anyways, I think the idea is that they're just like full to the brim of gas and like about to explode at any second, because if you touch them, they'll explode. So I guess it makes sense for them to explode when touching the wall. And here I wanted to check how much pirate data we had left to get. I believe it's 7 left. I was too lazy to count just now as it was going through. But yeah, I do go to the thermal visor a lot instead of the scan visor in this episode. It's stupid. I don't know why I did it. My D-pad was just being mean. But here we're gonna have 2 wave troopers and I think 3 power troopers. This room is a little tricky, but not really. If you're new to the game, or if you're a kid like I was when I first played this game, it could be tricky, but it's not too bad once you get good scrub. And then down there, as you can see, there's power troopers, like I was saying. What was I saying before my microphone unplugged? I don't even know. Oh yeah, we got an energy tank in that room with the fan, with the puffers that we killed, so that's pretty cool. Gave us our health back and gave us even more health, which is going to be useful. Because we are not supposed to be in this area at this point, so not surprisingly, we take a lot of damage and are very susceptible to death. But I do actually have a decent amount of energy tanks on hand, so that makes things a lot easier. I don't know, I didn't have nearly as much trouble in this area as I expected myself to. Then again, I do remember this area for being difficult because of when I first played it as like a kid or whatever, and I was a scrub and I just died all the time, and it was just not good. But I don't really suck at this game anymore, so I don't die as much, so that's good. I did actually have to stop recording my voice a second ago for like 2 seconds, but I'm back once more. And during those 2 seconds, I actually noticed, if you look at the icon for the power beam, it looks like eerily similar to the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. So that's cool. And this is another elite pirate. Interestingly enough, you're not actually supposed to fight this elite pirate at the point you're fighting him, or at the point I'm fighting him. You're actually supposed to fight him when you come back through this room the second time from the other direction. But because we have the plasma beam and potentially the power bombs, the game thinks that we've filled the prerequisites for having this guy spawn. So he will break out of his tank when you come in from the first, like when you come in here the first time. So be wary of that if you're sequence breaking. But if not, you have nothing to fear for like 10 minutes. So that's good. Unless you count fear itself. I don't know. That quote's a bit overused, to be honest, at this point. Actually, does the plasma beam look more like the Millennium Falcon? I don't know. They both look a bit like the Millennium Falcon, but then the wave beam and the ice beam, not so much. I like those like symbols though. Like the symbol she has to do for her hands, sort of, to like switch beams, I guess. I don't know, it's cool. That's like a thing they did. I've always liked that a lot. But actually, if you stand around for a while, interestingly enough, if you see like on her beam there, that little circle thing that popped out and there's like a bit of an ice around it, like on the left there's a little circle thing. If you stand around for a while, it'll actually like flip around and there's actually buttons on it with like colors that correlate to the different beams. So I guess that's an alternate way of switching her beams. Either way, it's still pretty cool that they did that. And here we have a mini boss, I guess. You can't actually scan it. But basically, if you remember in Phendrana Drifts, the like sentry drone type enemy, it's just one of those but invisible. And probably stronger, I would imagine. Like, has more health. It can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're not well equipped for this area, but it's not the worst thing ever. I do have a bit of trouble against him in this fight for some reason. I don't know why. I think I dropped down to 4, or maybe even 3, but I think 4 energy tanks before I can actually kill him, and then I panicked right here and tried to run around trying to find health. I don't know why. It was stupid. I also don't know why I was using the power beam for the majority of this fight, because it's not as strong as the plasma beam. I guess my like mentality with it was that because I could just keep mashing the button, so I would have like a better chance of hitting it, I guess, because you can't lock onto it, which makes sense because it's invisible. But here I switch back to the plasma beam, which is good, because although the plasma beam is slower and it might be harder to hit him with it than the power beam, it's not going to do nearly as much damage, and as a result it's going to be not as good. But that's it for him. He's dead now, which opens that. I don't know why it opens that. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But it opened it, so that's good. And I'm gonna walk in circles here trying to find it, and then but yeah, so you're gonna want to turn into Morph Ball, and here we have a little maze with electricity. It's not too bad. You just gotta move around and not get hit. But then there's also beams of like a yellow electricity, and what that does, as you can see, it comes back and forth and back and forth. So it's a bit of like a timing type thing. Like, you gotta have good timing to get through without dying. I usually have not trouble per se, but I usually just rush through here. So I usually, even if I can get past the yellow ones, I go right into the next wall. Luckily, they don't do that much damage. So that's good. But even then, we're near a save station, so at a moment here, we're actually going to get our health back and save, and that's cool. Speaking of save stations, I never actually explained, they restore your health completely when you save, which is good. I never bothered explaining. Oh yeah, we have the power bomb now. This is where you're intended to get the power bomb. But we got it through sequence breaking, so that's cool. But I never explained, the save station actually fills your health all the way back up and saves the game. Shockingly enough, the save station saves the game. And one thing I forgot to mention, and I have like no time to mention now because the episode's almost over, is that because of the path we took to get here, we actually entered in through the halfway point and skipped like the entirety of the first half of this area. I don't know, I figured I might as well mention that. There is a completely different entrance to get here that we're supposed to take, and we'll see that in the coming episodes. But we came here early, so yeah, but this is a save station, and that's actually going to be it for this episode. It's a little bit on the short side, but this is actually a pretty good spot to end it. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and bye. So since this is sort of a new thing for this series, and I have the luxury of post-commentary in this episode, I might as well explain what's going on. So this is basically like an end screen type thing. A lot of people do it on YouTube, so you've probably seen it before. But if you click to the left, you'll be taken to the playlist for this wonderful, wonderful series, and if you click to the right, you'll be taken to the next episode, and if you click on the bottom, you'll subscribe to this amazing channel. But thanks so much for watching, and bye.